Christian from Epic Gaming speaking. Just another stream today. We'll be actually opening a lot of packs. That's gonna be today's kind of gig. We'll be explaining some key rares, uncommons, and commons as we're opening up the packs, and it's also kickoff of our pre-orders for Ikoria, which we're doing pre-orders for $100 for the pre-order. I believe we can ship those out and whatnot. But before we get into it, just wanted to say we are Epic Gaming, a card store / venue space in Milwaukee, Oregon. We do several things during the week, just like Arena throughout the week. We also have Final Fantasy that we'll do today, so on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And we also have Net Play Melee on Sunday. So without further ado, let's transition in here and open up some packs. Alright. Let's see. Sounds a little good. Okay, so let's start off with Ikoria. Alright. First pack here. Got some two uncommons. It's pretty nothing super defining here, but let's see what our first rare is. So Skycat Sovereign. It's a pretty good rare. I don't think it'll see a lot of standard play. It might see like a little bit in blue white flyers, but I don't think it will be that good. But I feel like it'd be a nice addition in like a EDH deck that's kind of based around that. Yeah, let's see what this other rare is. Titan's Nest. Okay, this is a funky bug rare. I don't think it's format defining at all. It's interesting. I don't think it's bad, but it definitely creates an interesting effect. So it's a 4 mana in bug colors. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. Okay, so you gotta kind of get a filter. It's pretty much like a surveil each turn, and then its other effect is exile a card from your graveyard, add colorless, spend this mana only to cast a colored spell with X in its mana cost. So the way it's worded, because of space, it looks like you can actually exile as many cards as you want during a turn to add that much mana, but you can only do it for the X. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. I'm gonna move on to the next pack here. We just got a wild card, and we got, okay, Mythic wild card, sweet. So that brings up to 3 and 2 rares, right on. This is going to be a good way to start building our collection too, so we can actually have more than just mono red for decks. Mythos of Snap decks. This I forget what the card's called. Something Tragic Arrogance. Yeah, that's what it is, I think. But yeah, you get to choose, which can be huge in Mardu. I don't think any decks will be playing a lot of this card, maybe like a 1 or 2 of. But it's still cool nonetheless. None of these commons and uncommons really kind of stand out from the rest. Let's move on to this next pack here. Okay, again, nothing to really stand out here. And another Titan's Nest. The variety. Okay, so next we got the Ozolith, which is a 1 mana rare legendary artifact. When a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it has counters on it, put those counters on Ozolith. And at the beginning of your combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you move all counters from Ozolith onto target creature. So this actually gives archetypes that have been dealing with counters and a way to keep those counters by moving it onto the Ozolith when they die. So I don't think it will be super relevant, but it is cool for those decks trying to do that type of effect and shenanigans. Ooh, rare all card. There we go. That means Whirlwind of Thought. I really like this card. It's a lot of fun. I don't think it'll see a lot of standard play, but I feel like in an American EDH deck, this card will be nuts. and I just feel like it would be a lot of fun to play in Standard as well, because you cast an Opt and you draw 2 cards. If you have, and this stacks is not legendary, but it's 4 mana, and generally you want to be either stabilizing or winning the game at that point. And so I don't think it'll be very good. Oh, whoopsie. I did not mean to just gloss over everything like that. But looks like we just got the red-black mutate rare. Ah, Yadaro, one of my favorite cards in the set. So what's cool about Yadaro is he is a 7 mana 8/8 Godzilla if you have the alternate art, which is sick. Trample haste, cycling, 1 colorless, 1 red. And when you cycle Yadaro Wandering Monster, shuffle it into your library from your graveyard. If you cycle a card named Yadaro Wandering Monster 4 more times this game, put on the battlefield from your graveyard instead. So this goes really well in some like American control decks, just because you can play a bunch of removal to have this be as your win con that is not dead, because early game you just cycle it for filtering. So like that's pretty good. And there's a meme deck I'm kind of working on with the Yadaro and the 5 mana enchantment that instead of drawing a card, you exile cards until you hit a card with the appropriate type. Well, the way Yadaro works is when you cycle Yadaro, it will still go back into the deck and shuffle in, so it's not going to get exiled. And then the ability still triggers, so if you just play Yadaro in your deck, you're going to go find Yadaro. So for 2 mana, you get a 7 mana 8/8 with Trample and Haste. It's a little gimmicky, but it's fun. But if you even just by itself, it's really good, because you do it 4 times, you have 4 in the deck, and you have a lot of filtering if you're playing like American Control or something, that you're going to get that ability off pretty easily. Nothing else for real constructed play here. For limited though, the Keensight Mentors, all the Mentors in this set have been very good, just because you can keep buffing those counters up, and if you leave it go unchecked, it's just going to run rampant. All right, next pack. We have so many to go. The uncommon Des Oasis is a junk colors, so white, black, and green, Abzan, if you will. Enchantment: whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put the top 2 cards of your library into the graveyard, and then return a creature card with lesser converted mana cost than the creature that died from your graveyard to your hand. So it's really good in the kind of Abzan EDH decks that kind of based around this effect in graveyard removal. I don't think it'll be super relevant in Standard, but I could see someone building around this easily, because it also has another ability here. So you can pay 1 and sacrifice Des Oasis, and you gain life equal to the greatest converted mana cost among creatures you control. So the second effect is kind of okay. It's good against like the aggro matches where you're trying to stabilize. But for the most part, yeah, this card's pretty interesting. Good in like the Marin decks for EDH and stuff. Back for More is a solid uncommon pick for the draft. You get your bombs back, and then you can fight. So it's a removal spell, and it brings your guy back. The rest is pretty okay. The Sarah Scorpion is actually really good in the aristocrat style decks, especially like Cat Oven and stuff. Just because you can, well, they take 2, and if you just keep bringing this back with the 3 mana rare, that during your turn you may play a converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard each turn. So you just keep playing back the Sarah Scorpion and keep stacking it with the uncommon or any of the uncommons to do the same effect, any aristocrat style effect, and they'll lose life pretty fast. And it also makes board wipe super awkward, because I was playing a game where I was playing control, my opponent was playing that type of deck, and I Deafening Clarion in hand. But if I Deafening Clarion, I was actually taking more than just taking it to the face, because he had like 2 Serrated Scorpions and I think something else that triggered when it dies. So I was going to take like 7 points of damage if I Raft, but instead I just decided to take it, which was only 3 points of damage instead, because they're only 1 power. So yeah, it makes board wipes kind of awkward. But moving on, so we got Portswood Crasher, which is a 5 mana in Gruul, 2 colorless, 2 red, and 1 green. Trample. Whenever one or more creatures you control with Trample deals combat damage to a player, create a XX green dinosaur beast creature token with Trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures dealt to that player.
This card is insane.
That was Kevin saying how insane this card is. I'm not a Gruul mage, so I don't have much of a strong opinion of this card, especially because it's 5 mana. But, you know, in Limited, this thing is nutty.
There's a new card you can cycle. When you cycle it, you put a trample counter on a creature you control. So you go to combat, you swing in with a dude, they don't block it, instant speed, cycle, draw a card, put a counter on it, and then you get a full XX equal to the damage it dealt.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, once you're done doing your thing, you should totally join me.
Hello, I'm here.
Hello here. Probably barely hear you. Okay, so let's see. We got
Sasuke in chat. What's up, Sasuke?
Oh, Sasuke, what's up? He's here yesterday.
Hell yeah, dude.
Our boss bought him for us, so you know, getting it started that way. We have you know.
Ooh, we got the Mardu Ultimatum.
Yeah, I wish we got that many packs from just grinding. No, we bought this with the hard and cash. But opening up here is the Ruinous Ultimatum, which is one of my favorite ultimatums. I don't think it's the best one. I think the Jeskai one is the best one. But this one's one of my favorites because it's a one-sided board wipe for 7 in Mardu colors. And I think Mardu Control is even better this format because it was seeing some play as a fringe deck last format. Just because it's good against the aggro decks and it's good against the control decks. But I think the main thing it lost to was Simic, and Simic is really good in everywhere. So
Simic is always good.
Simic is always good.
Simic is always good.
So moving on, Ruinous Ultimatum does the board wipes thing. Let's see. Oh, so this is one of the Aristocrats parts I was talking about, the Bastion of Remembrance. It creates a 1/1, and then whenever a creature you control dies, your opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. It's really good with Cat Oven and the Scorpion. Yeah.
Cat combo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like, okay. And the rest of these are pretty okay.
Green uncommon.
Oh, yeah, this is the card that Kevin was talking about where you cycle, you put a trample character.
You put a trample counter on something. So 2 mana, draw a card, put a trample counter on something. Great combat trick, as well as just...
Yeah, because you could do that mid-combat.
Yeah.
No, I'll attack for 10. I'll block. Give a trample.
Give a trample.
Oh. Take 9.
I'll attack this thing. I will full block it so you get no trample, so you get no creature off of the trigger. Cool, you didn't block the 4/4. Instant speed, give it trample. You take 4. I get a 4/4. I draw a card. Hello.
Hello. Speaking of hello, we got Voracious Great Shark, which is a 5 mana shark creature with flash. When it enters the battlefield, counter target artifact creature spell, and it's a 5/4. So, a 5 mana counter spell is kind of underwhelming, but
it's also a 5/4.
It is a 5/4 shark. And I don't know about you, but that's probably one of my favorite things of the set is just 5/4 flash shark. This card can be played though in the blue-green flash decks as like a 1 or 2 of copies. You can even be greedy and play 4 if that's the type of meta we're going for, but I don't suggest it. We totally could. Like, it's a 5/4 that you can put on their turn. But yeah, I digress. Moving on. Got more packs. Let's keep on going. Oh, we got another Myth of the Snap decks. I've already kind of walked over this card. A really good card in the common, though, is the Minaguri Greathorn, which is a 4 mana 3/4 with Mutate for 3. Whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. So it's pretty much a rampant growth on a stick. As long as you keep mutating, you're going to keep getting more lands. And it's good in the Sultai Mutate deck. Yeah, it's pretty good. Moving on. So yeah, mediocre commons and uncommons here. The mentors are really good. This would be really good for sealed. We'd probably definitely be going black-white because we got 2 Mentors and some removal spells earlier. Then we got Kogla, the Titan Ape, for 6 mana, 3 green, 3 colorless, 7/6, legendary creature, ape. When Kogla, the Titan Ape, enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. And then whenever he attacks, destroy a target artifact or enchantment defending creature controls. And for 2 mana, return target human you control to its owner's hand. Kogla gains indestructible at the end of turn. That's actually a very flavorful effect there because it's referencing King Kong. And as you can see in the art, there's a woman in the hand. So he's returning the human, and then they're not going to shoot him because they has the human in hand, so he is indestructible. Oh, that is a big ape. So he's essentially it's a removal spell / Trigon Predator that triggers when it attacks, but it costs 6 mana. So it's definitely not bad, but I can definitely see it in like a mono green deck. But that's about it.
Right now in blue green decks featuring the new blue green legendary, the Keenan, that gives you extra mana production off of your non-land sources. Those decks are running it as just an excellent removal spell because you can bounce your commander back to your hand and give it indestructibility.
That's true. And you know what? If you're playing Brawl, this could be your commander.
This
you know, playing mono
commander
green.
for
Oh, mono green human tribal, and you can just keep bouncing humans, giving perfect.
Yep.
Absolutely perfect. Moving on. What we got here? Oh, sweet. Some wild cards. And an ultimatum. So we get Eerie Ultimatum, which is a 7 mana in junk colors, 2 white, 3 black, 2 green, sorcery. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Whoa, that's nuts. I haven't actually read that card.
I was playing a game of draft, and it went on so long. He was actually able to use his greedy mana base because I wasn't able to kill him. And late game, top deck, Eerie Ultimatum for Gabe. And I'm like, oh, okay. Resolves. You got it. I don't think you'll see a lot of standard play, like competitively. But casual, this sounds like fun. And in Brawl, it seems like a very good option because there's a lot of one-ofs. So you're going to meet that requirement easy because in Brawl, all your cards are one-ofs. So you're going to have a different permanent with different name.
This card reads 7 mana, return your graveyard to the battlefield.
Yep. So that'll be sweet. Moving on. Moving on. Yeah, let's do 10. I was kind of... Oh, here's another crasher.
Oh, I'm building red green trample.
Red green.
I'm building red green.
Red green's actually really good right now.
I'm building red green trample.
So let's just open 10. This is 10. Ooh, okay. So we got a few wild cards, which is good. This was the card I was talking about earlier with the Aristocrats deck, the Lurus of Dream Den, which is a 3 mana 3/2 hybrid colors. So you don't even need to play white if you don't. You could play mono black Aristocrats, which I've seen. Lifelink companion doesn't even need to be your companion, but it can. Each permanent each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana cost 2 or less. Pretty easy to do if you're going with the Aristocrats deck too, just because you have Ovens 1, Cats 1, Scorpions 1. During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. Scorpion. Over and over, Cat if you don't have Oven out or a food. Pretty good. Going on. Oven if you get rid of. Yep. The Wellspring, which is a 5 mana hybrid red green legendary creature elemental something. Elk. Yes, it would be an elk. Yep. Companion, no card in your starting deck has more than one of the same mana symbol in its mana cost. Yep. But you can tap it to add Wooburg. That's Wooburg. It's not bad. Definitely interesting. Zenith's Ultimatum. One of my favorite ultimatums. I don't think it's the best one. Like I said, I think the Jeskai one's the best one. But it's definitely flavorful. Especially like a Rug Fires deck. Which I don't think will be good, but it'll definitely be a lot of fun. You just cast this for free, put 5 things on the board. So you get 5 Planeswalkers on the board, and you're like, ooh, yes, this is fun. So Zenith's Ultimatum, sweet. Probably my favorite art of the ultimatums, just because it's this giant like wellspring shooting up with rainbows and everything. You got a crystal, got a couple of forests in the back and mountains. Like, that's an ultimatum. That's an art for an ultimatum. Spicy, magnificent. All right, we already talked about these two. Bonder's Enclave is definitely, I can see like a one of in like the mono green decks are shooting out big dudes, because then those green decks have draw cards or draw power. But it does cost 3 to activate it, so I think it's definitely good in EDH. I'm not sure if it will see any constructive play. And then going on to our mythic of the pack, we got Iuna, Apex, a Wishes, or Eluna. It kind of depends if you're like, if you're treating it kind of like Spanish, where the 2 L's create a Y sound, Iuna, but I think it's Eluna, because yeah, Una. Apex, a Wishes, which is a 5 mana, 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue, 1 red in rug colors, or Timur. Legendary creature, Beast Elemental Dinosaur. Beast Elemental Dinosaur. Oh, I gotta love these creature types. With flying, trample, mutate for 3, hybrid red-green, blue-blue. When this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield or into your hand. I think this is a very kind of win more card. I don't think this will see a lot of competitive play, but as a EDH commander or a meme deck, this sounds like a lot of fun, and I can see a lot of potential. But it's just, 5 and 6 mana, I just feel is a little too much. But for its effect, it makes sense, because you can get a very, very big payoff off of this card. But I don't think that's what you want to be doing in the rug decks. But I could definitely be wrong. Moving on to the next 10. Okay, so it looks like we got another Eerie Ultimatum, another Yadaro. We got Drann's Magistrate, which is a 2 mana, 1/3 creature human wizard. Your opponent can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. It's a very good sideboard card for graveyard dependent decks, and any deck that does shenanigans from exile or anything like that. Anyway, that makes your opponent play not Magic the Gathering, not the way Richard Garfield intended. We already know what Titan's Nest does. We got Mythos of Vadrock, which is a 4 mana, 2 colorless, 2 red sorcery. Mythos of Vadrock deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers. So pretty okay effect for 4. It is a sorcery, so it's kind of underwhelming at that point. But it has this next effect, which is if blue-white was spent to cast a spell, until your next turn, those permanents can't attack or block, and their activated abilities can't be activated. So if you're able to kill a couple things and just kind of keep a planeswalker off from going off, you can then just kill it next turn. So it's good for typical plays like that. I don't think I'll see a whole lot of play, but it's definitely something to think about. It's still 4 mana though, so I'm not the hugest fan. Next we have the Triomes, which is awesome. We got 2 Triomes in these 2 packs. Triomes are good for any of the colors that they're in. You just play 3 to 4 of. In late game, you just cycle because they're not, you don't need them anymore, so they're just good. Then we got Vadrock, Apex of Thunder, American, or USA colors. It's a legendary creature, Elemental Dinosaur Cat.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a cat.
Awesome.
Flying, first strike, mutate for 4, 1 colorless, hybrid, blue, white, and red. When this creature mutates, you may cast target non-creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. I think this card is a lot of fun. Definitely a sick effect. I'm not sure. What would you want to be casting for 3 mana from your graveyard for free?
Divination.
Okay. Thanks for that answer.
First 3-drop spell I could think of that wasn't a creature that is borderline playable.
Divination. Yeah, this card is sweet.
Maybe not divination specifically, but air quotes, divination.
I don't think it's standard playable. I could definitely see EDH deck based around this or a Brawl deck based around it. But for standard or just, standard or modern play, I don't think we're going to see this a whole lot. But it's still cool. Ranked Brawl. Let's go. So next, we got Snap decks, Apex of the Hunt, 4 mana in Mardu colors, 1 colorless. Legendary creature, Dinosaur Cat Nightmare. What is with these creature types? Double Strike, Mutate, 2 colorless, Hybrid, Black, Red, 2 white. When this creature mutates, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls, and you gain 4 life.
It's like a super lightning.
Yeah, it's pretty much a body that is also a removal spell every time you give it more stuff. I think you'll see some play in Mardu. There's definitely a Mardu kind of mutate deck you can build. I don't think it'll be like tier 1 or anything. Definitely like a 1.5 or 2, probably 2, but it's still a very solid card. In draft, if you're able to get that setup, then Snap decks will probably carry you for the most part, just because you have so much removal and you have a threat right then and there. Open the next 10. Okay, Garuda, Doom of the Depths. I'm going to talk about this card here for a second. So it is a 6 mana, 6/6, 4 colorless, and 2 hybrid. Companion, your starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana costs. You do not need to play with this guy as your companion. You totally could, but you don't have to, and I don't suggest it. When Garuda enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into the graveyard. Put a creature card with an even converted mana cost among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. So pretty much what you do is you play a bunch of ramps so that you can do this on turn 3 or 4, and you play it. And generally, you mill 4, you mill Charming Prince. Charming Prince comes to the field. It'll exile Garuda till end step. End step, Garuda will enter again. Garuda effect, you'll probably hit the Thassa. Next turn, they have Garuda. And then after that, on their turn, they'll play Agent of Treachery, steal your thing, Thassa trigger. Yeah, this can get insane. It can. If you have a slow enough, if you're versus deck, you have a slow enough deck, this deck is probably winning. I've been playing a lot of slower, grindier games, and so I've been getting wrecked by this card. But I feel like if you're, pretty aggressive and usually in the game by turn 4 or 5, this shouldn't be a problem for you. But this has just the potential to go crazy, go nuts. It's good. It's good. Then we got a Mythic, Real the Everwise. 3 mana, 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 blue. It gets +1/+0 for each instant or sorcery card in your graveyard, which that's already screaming Phoenix to me. Blue-red Phoenix. And then whenever you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. So this feels like it'd be very good in a blue-red Phoenix deck with like some cycle in it, because you could definitely play Yadaro in that deck as well, because you'll just be filtering through your whole deck, so you'll be able to get that 4 effect easy. You'll be able to just play him for 8 in a few turns, and then so not only do you now have Phoenix, Drake, you have what I just talked about, and you have Riel for that deck. So it kind of dropped off after Thurnavel Drain came out, but I think Izzet Phoenix will be in a much better position this time around. And Shark! Alright, moving on to the next pack. Oh, I just moused over this. Luminous Broodmoth is 4 mana, 2 colorless, 2 white, 3/4, creature insect, flying. Whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it. This is good. This card is very good in the aristocrat decks, especially with like the Scorpion, because what you can do is go, you have your aristocrats set up, you play Luminous Broodmoth, you keep sacking things, and just come back so you can sack them again. It is gross. Imagine going, okay, I'll sack cat for oven. I'll sacrifice food, play cat. And then, sorry. Let me do that real quick. So, you have Luminous Bloodmouth out. You play the cat. Cat will trigger. Activate oven. Sacrifice cat. You have 2 triggers on the stack. Oven will resolve. Bloodmouth will resolve. Now, you can play the cat. And you still have a food for later. So when you block with the cat, you can just bring it back. This just gives aristocrats even more staying potential, in my opinion. So it's a very good card. Next 10 packs, let's go. Okay, so we got another Phoenix set. It's a 4 mana, 2 colorless, 2 red. Creature Phoenix. It's a 4/4, flying with mutate for 4. When this creature mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather with 1 sacrifice Feather. Return target Phoenix card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That is very underwhelming. Another Phoenix card that's kind of needs a little more. It's almost there, but needs a little more. I think this type of effect is too slow for where the meta is right now. And then for our... Yeah, it's good, like, if you have multiple Phoenixes, but you don't have a... Phoenix Tribal... Historic Brawl, we're going to make it happen. Phoenix Tribal, let's go. So we have Luca, Coppercoat Outcast, which is a 5 mana, 3 colorless, 2 red, legendary planeswalker. Luca. Comes in with 5 loyalty, and its +1 is exile top 3 cards of your library. Creature cards exiled this way gain. You may cast this card from exile as long as you control a Luca planeswalker. So, if you get another Luca planeswalker out later and use this effect, you can still cast the creatures from the previous one because of the way this card is worded. It says you may cast this card from exile as long as you control a Luca planeswalker. It doesn't have to be the specific one. So that's actually pretty good for the red-green mid-range decks, just because you get constant value. And then eventually we have the -2 here. Exile target creature you control, then reveal cards on top of your library until you reveal a creature card with higher converted mana cost from that. Put that card into the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this essentially allows you to trade your dork for a bigger dude. At least that's the thought process. That's the goal. But a lot of the times you're probably just going to go into another dork. But if you set your deck up and you know what's on top with like a scry or something, then I feel like Luca is going to be very good in that situation. But outside of that, I don't think you're using that effect too much unless you have to set up. And there's -7 is each creature you control deals damage equal to Can the rest of the effect pop up like this? Equal to... Oh, maybe if I... Okay, there we go. Equal to its power to each opponent. Oh, so you essentially just win the game there if your board's still full. Here's another Triumph. And then we got Gem Razor, which is a 4 mana, reach trample, or mutate for 3, 2 green. When this creature mutates, start target artifact or enchantment in opponent controls. So it's pretty much like a Reclamation Sage, but with mutate. And it costs more for the base, but its power and toughness are more as well. And it has reach and trample. So I think this card is pretty sick. But it doesn't do anything when you just play it for 4, though. So it's kind of almost slower in Reclamation Stage at that point. But yeah, I think this is a very good sideboard card for the red-green decks. Just to get bored into any deck that's like using a bunch of enchantments they just can't deal with. Then we got Hunter Nightmare, which is a 3 mana, 4/5 menace. When Hunter Nightmare enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a death touch counter on a creature they control. I think this card is okay. You're generally just playing this in mono black with Grey Merchant just so you get the 2 black here. And it's a 4/5 on 3, so if they don't have any creatures, you're just going in for 4 on 3, which is not bad. And you play your Grey Merchant on 5, and they take even more damage. So think if you're going for that style of deck, this card might be able to shine. But until then, I don't think it has enough potential yet. Okay, some more wild cards. Okay, here's the card that got banned in EDH right off the bat. We got Lucci the Spell Chaser, which is a 3-mana, 1 colorless, hybrid blue-red twice, so 2 hybrids. Legendary creature, Elemental Otter. Isn't he so cute? He's playing with a little lightning ball in his hand. I really like the art of this card. It's adorable. I appreciate the otters. Anyway, so that's Flash Companion. Each non-land card in your starting deck has a different name. So in EDH, that just automatically, yeah, you already meet the requirement. So I'm thinking, since you can't, oh, apparently it's not legal in Singleton or in Brawl. So that is funny. I was about to say, well, that means you can play it in Brawl, right? No, it's, no. Okay. But, like, it's, when Lutria the Spell Chaser enters the battlefield, if you cast it, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. I don't know. I feel like we could let this stay for a little bit. But let's see Kevin, you're watching the stream. Yes, rest in peace, Otter. So we got Crystalline Giant, which is a 3-mana, 3/3 artifact creature giant. So it doesn't die if you board wipe with the giant dude. So if you want to play a giant tribal, now is the time. I'm kidding, but I guess if you really wanted to, go for it. But anyway, at the beginning of your combat, your turn, choose a kind of counter at random that Crystalline Giant doesn't have on it, from among Flying, First Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, Vigilance, and +1/+1. Put a counter of that kind on Crystalline Giant. This card, like, I think it's a very good draft pick because you could play it in any deck, but in Constructed, it's just a 3-mana 3/3 that does something at random on your turn. And in a competitive format, you want something that kind of gives you a choice. But, you know, lightning bolted in Modern, lightning strike it in Historic. Like, it's pretty easy to get rid of. Just in response to the effect, kill it. But, you know, it's still cool. It's an interesting effect. Moving on here to General Kudro of Draneth, which is a 3-mana, 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 white, card for the opponent's graveyard, which is very relevant with all the graveyard shenanigans happening, and escape is a very strong mechanic, so you can get rid of the Uros and the Kroxas and all that jazz. And then its last effect is 2 mana, sacrifice 2 humans, destroy target creature, power 4 or greater. It's just that you're probably not going to use that effect too often, but it's nice for it just to kind of be there for certain matchups. Because I feel humans are in a much better situation this time around. They got so much support, and I feel like they actually might be a contender, or at least like tier 1.5. Something definitely to still watch out for, because they do have that solid just black-white removal spell that exiles a creature, and then if you have a human, you essentially take nothing. And it's almost like a Swords to Plowshares, but for 1 extra mana. Which is insane. Alright, I think that was it for that pack. Hidaro, Mr. Turtle. I just love him so much. He's a lot of fun. Okay, sweet. We got some new cards here. Just another addition to our try-ons. We got Zerda, the Dawnwalker. Ooh, it's a fox. Elemental Fox. That's a really good card art. I really like that art. Anyway, 3 mana, 1 colorless, 2 hybrid of red and white. Companion, each permanent card in your starting deck has an activated ability. Abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana and cost to less than 1 mana. Imagine if you could set it to 0. That'd be stupid. This card would be actually insane.
This card already is insane.
It is already insane, but imagine... But yeah, mana... This is aren't mana abilities.
To untap them, it
Oh, untap. Gotcha.
So it lets you go.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yes,
Also,
yes,
Sun
yes. Sun for yeah. You got it.
The re-equip. Yeah.
And then the last ability is weird. It's just one tap it, target creature can't block this turn. Whoop-de-doo. That's true. You know, it is Boros, so it has to do something with Boros because it's not a Boros type effect. So I guess I just kind of threw that in. You're like, no, this is the Boros card. Well, now it is. And then we have Fronland Felidar, which is a 4 mana, 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 white, creature cat beast. Vigilance. Creatures you control with Vigilance have tap 1, tap target creature. It's good in draft. Good in limited. I don't think it'll see any constructed play. So we got Cup Warden, which is a 4 mana creature cat, 3/5 with lifelink and mutate for 4, 2 colorless, 2 white. When this creature mutates, create 2 white, 2 white, 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. I'll say this again. Good in draft. Limited. We got into Throy Apex of Death, which is a 5 mana, 2 colorless, 1 white, 1 black, 1 green, legendary creature, cat, nightmare, beast. That card art is sick. His Death Touch sure does look like it. And lifelink. Mutate for 7, 4 colorless, 1 hybrid, green or white, 2 black. When this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So I could definitely see this in some type of junk aristocrat style of deck that you're ramping so you can cast this on like 4 instead of paying 7 for it. And you just kind of return everything back, sack it, and your opponent dies in that instant. I'm assuming is the type of deck you're going to want to go for. Or, in Brawl, this sounds sick. As you just play a bunch of really good creatures, power 10 or less, and then late game you play this, you get them back, they get rid of it, or you sack it, you play it again, and you just keep getting value. But I don't think you'll see a whole lot of constructive play. It definitely could. Like if there's a, like if it just said enter the battlefield, then you could definitely just tee it into play and it's broken. But it says specifically mutate. So if you can mutate from the yard, that'd be fantastic, like that one guy does. But alas, it does not. Okay, so we got Mythos of Iuna, which is a 4 mana sorcery, 2 colorless, 2 blue. Create a token that's a copy of target permanent. Then, if green and red was spent to cast the spell, instead create a token that's a copy of that permanent, except the token also has, when this permanent enters the battlefield, if it's a creature, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So, normally it's a clone, but if you pay to mirror, it's a clone that fights. Again, I'm not I think this card is playable. I'm not sure what type of home it might be in. I saw someone that was playing they were playing Shark Tornado with clone effects to copy the Shark Tornado. And that was the whole deck. Is how many Shark Tornadoes could they have on the field? And I lost. I was also playing a meme deck. Okay, so for our mythic here, we got Winota Join Air Forces, which is a 2 or 4 mana, 2 colorless, 1 red, 1 white, legendary creature, human warrior, which whenever a non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a human creature card from among them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Put the rest of the cards in the bottom of your library in random order. I'm sure someone will come up with a deck that has really good synergies between humans and non-humans. I can't think of anything at the moment. I'm not really playing Boros, so this is kind of underwhelming for me. But it did blow me out in draft, So there's that. I have gone blown out by this card before, so I will give it that. There's definitely a home for it. I just don't know if it's going to be in my home. We got Shovel, Bane of Monsters with 2 mana, 1 green, 1 black. Legendary creature, human rogue, I'm assuming. Death Touch, at the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponent controls no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Then, when a permanent an opponent controls with the bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw 1 card. Super cool effect. Way too slow. I don't think you'll see any constructed play, and even in draft, I feel like it's still good. But if they have dead weight for it, no, it still does. It's a 1/3. It's not 1/2. So it's a good body. And then if you're able to keep keep it on board, you'll be able to get benefits off of killing the creatures. But it's still pretty underwhelming. But it's 1/3 Death Touch. It's actually not bad for 2. Now that I think about it. In that aspect, I think the effect is kind of weak, but paired with other things like fight effects might be very strong. Just because you go wait a turn, gets a counter. He is 1/3, so you just have a fight effect. Something will die because it has Death Touch. Trigger, you'll gain 3 life and you'll draw a card. So I can see that in that style deck, but until then, I'm not a huge fan. So we got Bosch the Prey Piercer. So it's a 5 mana, 3 colorless, hybrid in red and black, ×2 for 5. Legendary creature, Hellion Horror. Companion, your starting deck contains only cards with odd converted mana costs and land cards. So this is kind of like the opposite of the other card, kind of in the companion sense. If a source you control with odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent player, it deals double that damage to that permanent player instead. Definitely an okay effect. If you do get it off, it's kind of win more. If you're playing red-black, your opponent's generally dead before this. So, in comparison to the 6 mana blue-black one, this is not very good in comparison. Like, I don't think this will see as much play as the other one will. Okay, and then we got Krug the Macro Sage, which is a 5 mana, 3 colorless, hybrid blue-green, legendary creature, dinosaur hippo. Why they chose hippo, I do not know, but they did. So, companion, your starting deck contains only cards that convert a mana cost of 3 or greater and land cards. So right off the bat, you're going to have a very slow start. So you can play like a bunch of tap lands to get that effect. But it has a very powerful payoff effect where when Kuroga the Macro Sage enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control for the cost 3 or greater. Oh, I read that wrong. That's okay. I thought it was whenever... That's okay. Oh well. It's a 5/4. Not a bad effect. I think it'll be a lot of fun in Brawl. But the first effect is not having that early game. I don't think it's very good for companion anyway. I think late game you drop this in like a Simic style deck, and you know most of your guys are 3/3s or greater. You got Uro for 6. You're gonna be drawing a lot of cards. Well, at the same time, in Simic, you're already drawing a lot of cards. You already have cards that kind of do what you want them to do with drawing cards and card advantage. So, we'll see where this card goes. Alright, look at we're almost out of Ikoria packs. Let's do another 10 here. 2 more cards we've yet to see. So, we got Brokos, Apex of Forever, which is a 5 mana, 2 colorless, 1 black, 1 green, 1 blue. Legendary creature, Nightmare Beast Elemental with Trample and Mutate for 6. 2 colorless. That's not 6. That's 5. 2 colorless, 1 hybrid of blue or black, and then 2 green. You may cast Broxos Apex of Forever from your graveyard using its muted ability. So I could definitely see a deck where you're just milling yourself to get advantages with Escape, and then milling Broxos so that whenever you play like something that constantly recurs itself to the field, you can just slap Broxos onto it, so that way it's actually a threat, and you can just keep recurring those two over and over again, and it'll be hard for your opponent to deal with it if they don't have some way to deal with the graveyard. So I could definitely see that being a thing. You could definitely play this in like the Titan's Nest build, because you can look at the top, send the Broxos to the yard, and then draw a different card, and he's still alive in your graveyard. So it's essentially like having an extra card in hand. So he's got sweet. And then probably my favorite, my favorite cards in the set, next to Yadaro, if not my favorite card of the set, Shark Typhoon, which is a 6 mana enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where XX spells convert a mana cost. Now this is the fun part of the effect. Probably not. We're going to be playing. If you're playing this in constructed, you're probably not playing it for its first effect. You're not playing it for 6 mana. You are cycling it. But there's definitely a deck that you can build that goes off of playing Shark Typhoon. In fact, I have a deck right now. It kind of does that. It's the Cyclone deck I was talking about. The 5 mana. Whenever you cycle a card, instead exile until you hit appropriate type. So you'll cycle a copy of itself, hit Shark Typhoon. So now, whenever you cast anything, you get a shark. But for the most part, you're cycling. So it's kind of just a sub package. But I could definitely see you making a deck around this, which I have seen it, and I think like 20 minutes ago, I explained how I went against a person who just kept copying Shark Typhoons, and then that was the deck. That was hilarious. Alright, let's get down to the last 3 Ikoria packs. Xenoflare, I've been wanting to make a deck around this work. There's not enough cycle cards to make it like super good, but it's still nice. In fact, I was playing a constructed game, and I had 3 cards left in deck, 2 of which I knew, and I top decked Xenoflare with Teferi on to dome my opponent for 14 for game. It was awesome. I've never been that. It's been a while since I've been that hype. So we just got some wild cards. I think it's probably just gonna be stuff we already have from here on out. Yep, no lure. Okay, we almost got a playset of Lurus. So definitely probably going to build the Aristocrats deck just because it's easy to make. Yes! And we got another Mythic. We got Narset of the Ancient Way, which is a 4 mana, 1 colorless, American colors, so blue, red, and white. Legendary Planeswalker Narset. It's +1, you gain 2 life, add either blue, red, or white mana to your mana pool, but you can only spend this to cast a non-creature spell. Really good against the aggro matchups and just matchups in general where you're losing a lot of life. Helps you gain that tempo and also gives you a way to kind of ramp up and play your spells for cheaper and still keep up mana for like Counterspell or something. To -2 is actually really sweet because you have to draw a card and then discard a card. When you discard it, and you may discard a card. So it could be a filter or discard, and then you get to deal damage equal to the discarded card's converted mana cost as a creature or planeswalker. So you can finish off the fairies, finish off those big boys you can't just deal with. Let's say you have like a Deafening Clarion hand, you play an American Control, you can discard the Clarion if everything's like too big, and you need to finish off a planeswalker and there's nothing on the boards. Gets rid of your dead cards and makes them more life. And then its ult pretty much gives you a way to try to, gives you a win con. So its -6 is you get an emblem whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this emblem deals 2 damage to any target. So after you alter, you just cast non-creature spells and then eventually you kill your opponent. And you play multiple copies of this in your deck. So there is a chance that you ult it multiple times. Because it ults the third turn it's in, because it comes in it comes in at 5 or 4, rolls up to 5. Next turn rolls up to 6. Third turn you get to ult it if you want. Not bad. Not bad. And then Heartless Act is it's pretty much Doomblade on steroids. Card's real good. Is that all the Ikoria packs now? It is. Well, let's go with some Theros now. Okay, these cards are okay. Incarnation. So we already have a copy of these, but this card is very interesting. So it's a 4 mana, 2 colorless, 1 blue, 1 green enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another enchantment. It just says enchantment, so you could do enchantment creature too. If you do, search your library for a creature card with converting at cost equal to 1 plus the sacrifice enchantment's converted mana cost. Put the card onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. This is a very safe and fixed birthing pod. They still like to make these type of effects, but not to the power level that birthing pod was on. This doesn't have an activated effect, so the card is underwhelming because you can kind of just kill it before they get the full effect for it. So definitely cool though. Ooh, Dryad makes 5-color decks a lot easier to do, or it just gives you extra ramp. You can play additional land on your turns, and lands you control are every basic land type. I honestly hope they reprint. No, what's the card called? It's a 4 mana collective restraint. 4 mana, 1 blue, 3 colorless. Your opponent must pay X to attack you for each creature, where X is the number of basic land types you control. And so with Dryad, that'd be 5, so they'd have to pay 5. And if this is a non-singleton format, so if it gets reprinted in standard, you get to play multiple of them on the field like you did in Invasion Block. Because I was playing some Invasion Block decks a few months ago. And Collective Restraint was one of the decks of the 5-color stuff. You played you play 5-color Collective Restraint, and there's also another card that you draw a card for each basic land type you control. So by that time you have 5, and so you draw 5. So back in Invasion Block, that was sick. Moving on here. This isn't Invasion, this is Theros. This is 2020 Magic, where things are a lot faster and a lot crazier and cheaper. Oh, sweet. So we got a temple. We need a temple. We don't really have a lot of temples in our lives. Temples are okay. They're pretty much filler if we don't have triomes and the correct fixing. And another temple. Temple abandoned. There we go. 2 hits. I like that. Can we get a 3rd temple? Or like a wild card? That'd be awesome. Hey, look. Wild card. That's awesome. Keep clicking. What else we got? Ooh, Thrix's Sudden Storms. It's 5 mana. Flash Flying. Spells you cast to convert back cost 5 or greater. Cost 1 less to cast that can't be countered. I had a very interesting interaction with this card that I got called Judge for over in the EDH game. So they have this huge stack going on of counter spells and whatnot. On the top of the stack, an opponent casts Thrix with counter spells still on the stack. In response to that, they wanted to know if you got rid of the Thrix, if the counter spells were still resolved. So let's say you let Thrix resolve, and the spells are still on the stack. If you kill the Thrix in response before the spells resolve, he's not going to be there when the spells resolve, so they can still be countered. That's how I rolled it, and I believe that is how it works. But yeah, card is very interesting, very good in Commander. What we got here? We got Arasta. They cast non-creature spells. You get 1/2 reachers. Thassa's Oracle makes that deck real good. You just leveler or whatever have you, and then you oracles, and then you win. In Historic, you can treasure map to find all your islands, and then you play the Oracle, and then you win. Oracle's real good. Shadow Sphere up here is a pretty good card. I mean, it's not gonna it doesn't see a whole lot of play, but it's still solid. Definitely an interesting effect and has a lot of effects for 1 mana. Annex is a very good mono red card, just because mono red doesn't have a lot of stickiness, I guess you would say. So generally, when you board wipe, the game's kind of over. But Annex gives you a tool to replenish your board essentially. So if you have this and they board wipe, you get a board back, which is something red needed. And the last Theros pack. Got Daxos, and if you ever need a good answer to Cat, here you go. Right here. 3 mana does the thing. And you ever want to shut yourself off when you're playing Orzhov Cat? Play this in your main board, and your opponent will look at you. And you'll be like, "No, don't worry. I have a plan." No, don't worry about it. Okay. You know, we got the Guild of Ravnica. Let's go. What we got in the Guild of Ravnica are rare to be Venerated Luxon. Really good in the mono white deck to make your dudes wide. Has combo. Doesn't see a whole lot of play anymore. I haven't seen it in a bit. Kako Tribunal is one of the best uncommons from that set in white to kind of deal with everything. No Hide Ferox is one of the cards that kind of didn't see a lot of play when it came out, and still in general it doesn't. It's a 4 mana 6/6 with hexproof. You can't cast non-creature spells, so you're stuck casting creature spells. And then for 2, No Hide Ferox loses all abilities until end of turn. Any player may activate this effect, so you can get rid of its hexproof and just kill it. If a spell or ability opponent controls causes you to discard No Hide Ferox, put it into the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. So the only way I think this card is good is like in sideboard against a very heavy discard deck, and even then, that's why it doesn't see a whole lot of play. Yes, Watery Grave. Fantastic. That's what I wanted to see. That's what we want to see from these Ravnica and this Guild and Leeches packs is the Shocklands. So we don't, and a Steam Vents. There we go. 2 for 2. Can we get a third one? Can we get a Breeding Pool? That would be sick. Seraph Scales. Okay, well, it's a mythic. We'll take it, I guess. We got a wild card, so there's that. And Spark Double. Oh, another card to go with that, the 6 mana card I was talking about with even converted mana cost. So what you do is you play that, you mill the Spark Double. Spark Double comes in, you make it a copy of that, so it triggers again. So then you put in the Charming Prince and do it again, and your board's wide for 6 mana that you did on turn 4 because you're playing green. Moving on. Oh, we really don't have a lot of War Spark either. Dang. Oh, and we got a Mythic. There we go. Got a turn of Ronus. I forgot this card has an effect. I was playing a game. Imagine I'm fine, and then my opponent resolved. Got a turn of Ronus, and I let it resolve, and then I die because it doubles the power of all creatures on the field. So, yeah, it's got a turn of Ronus, man. Open some more Wars of Spark. Let's see what we get. Living Twister. It's whatever. I'm really hoping for a Teferi. Because, I love control decks. Even though I also hate Teferi at the same time. Because it's a broken Planeswalker. I don't know, so it's not Oko level. And, it doesn't win you the game. But, sometimes it feels like it. It's a very strong effect for 3 mana. Regulators, okay. Hopefully it opens some Cavaliers in this in these packs. Kaiar wins Fury. Okay, I can see a very fun America style non-creature deck where you have this as your main win condition next to the Whirlwind card for 4 mana that draws you a card every time you cast a non-creature spell. Because then you can just kind of go off of Kaiar. It's also seems sweet for Brawl, actually. I'll keep that in mind. I was against Brawl as a format, but then I realized you could play Planeswalkers, so it's a lot better in that opinion.
Experimental Frenzy, Runaway Steam Cube, and that Jeskai Legendary.
See, because every time you cast a red spell, you gain a counter, and then you get a spirit, so you can sack both of them, and you gain 4 mana, and then you keep going. Oh, yeah.
For instance, start casting on the top, and you start
value.
Burn spells pointing at your opponent, hope they die.
Yeah, they will. And we got Lotus Field, which is good in some decks. Not every deck's gonna want to be playing Lotus Field. Like combustion. I was kind of going through most people. These cards have been out for yes, one of my least favorite Magic cards of this standard constructed. Sure, it is 7 mana, but when it comes in the field, it is frustrating because you'll play your win con at 6, and if you're not playing around the card, you're gonna get blown out. You just have to play around it. You have to believe that your opponent has it at all times. Because, I played a Chandra. They're like, all right, cool. Age of Treachery. I'll take the Chandra. And I'm like, okay, I'll slam the concede button because you also have a Thassa out. That combination is so good. And Thunderclan Awakener. 2 mana, 1/2 with haste. Elemental Shaman. It does the thing. Okay. It was pretty underwhelming. It was okay. And our last core set 2020 pack is not going to be a Cavalier. Oh, whoopsie. I was going to look at that pack, but my bad. All right, so here's the Oko. No, it looks like it's going to be a rare. Once Upon a Time, because the band. That's still in here? Oh, Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, that's actually sick. I'm glad we don't have one of those yet. Awesome. I'm okay with the Bone Crusher Giant. What else do we got? And a rare wild card. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's all we needed. That's all I want in life is more rare wild cards. Whoa. Well, that's it. That was all of our packs. All of the discussion. I guess now we have... What is this? Oh. That's right. We have... Sounds good. Oh, the Master Passes this time are pretty interesting. I might have to go the American route just because I think having a full art ultimatum would be sick. But, I'm going to leave that to the rest of my coworkers as well. So, all right. Well, we have a lot more to choose from now. So let's see if we can make a deck and play around with it. But for right now, I'm just going to take a minute here. I'll be
Hey, folks. We're switching out the guard. It's Kevin this time instead of Christian, and we're going to start with that red-green deck that I wanted to build. So many new cards. We're just going to go ahead, clear out all of these triggers, all of these new card triggers, because that will annoy me. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, we're going to try and build a red-green deck. Most likely what we'll do is we're going to try and maybe not quite build around the red-green Trample Boy, but we have a couple copies of him, so that's going to be pretty much where I'm mentally starting when building this deck. And then we're just going to fill the rest of the deck with just playable red and or green cards. Okay. So this is displayed very weirdly. Standard, yes. Reset. Alright. I want red cards, I want green cards. Organized by... Yeah, cool. Okay. This is just all the red cards, all at once. All the green cards all at once. All the multicolor cards. Perfect. All right. So actually, we were starting with. So let's start with lands. What lands we got? Do we have any red green lands? We got a stomping ground. We got a temple. Those are starting points. I don't want to run these. These are going to be way too slow. Runs them anyways. Spellbreaker is great. You know what? This card is... No, it doesn't have trample, so it's bad. Actually, let's do that. Trample. Does this work the way I want it to? Yes, it does. Sweet. Oh, Godzilla. Oh, this is the Yorvo. Or Yido. Whatever the card is exactly. Has trample. We'll run it. Oh, we have 3? Oh, we're running all 3. It's spicy. It's funny. Oh, yeah, I'm always building red-green. I'm going to force that trample deck, man. I'm going to force that trample deck.
No, if you want to use a wild card for a 4th Godzilla, I'm okay with it.
We don't need the 4th Godzilla. We're gonna start reasonable and then add in cards later. This one also. I'm just gonna add all the cards that have trample and then move on from there. And then I'm gonna start with only cards of trample, and then we're gonna refine it down to being reasonable cards with trample that also have to be red and green.
Does that mean are you gonna consider this 5 mana 5/3 common?
No. This card is bad. This card is bad.
It gives all your creatures trample.
That's tempting. It's very tempting. If I have a slot and I'm like, I need a card, I might throw this in. It has trample, Christian.
But don't tell me you're gonna skip out on the almighty Bushwag. It has trample.
It's a 1-drop.
And it gets bigger.
It's a 1-drop.
It's a 1-drop.
It's a 1-drop.
Bigger. It fits in your passion.
Done. And I have. Hey, I need 1-drops. Actually, you know what? This is the boom. That's my art for the deck. The Mighty Bushwog. We can't cut it. All right. This card actually might be kind of cool. I like Hydra. Yeah. I like this. I like legendaries that are good. I like Godzilla. Godzilla's cool. I like Godzilla. Do you like? Yeah, you like Godzilla. We're gonna have more Godzillas. We're gonna continue to add Godzillas. I like this card. And we have New Vivian. I'm going to top card at any time. I can cast a creature card. Oh, so it's a green future sight. Already playable. I'm playing it just for the passive effect. I don't care what the large activated abilities are. Don't worry about it. Nope, not looking at it. I'm not looking at the thing that makes it. Yeah, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at this thing that gives a keyword permanently to a creature. It has more effects, all of which are good. Whenever you cast this creature spell, get another creature spell for free, and then you can plus to make a dude with a counter. We're not adding Nyx Bloom. That's way too expensive and not good enough. Collision Colossus it grants trample. It's good.
Yep, it's the speed to boom.
And this is a fight, and so we want that. This card is not good. Trample. Creatures you control trample. You may have this creature. Oh yes. I will run that. Oh, here it is. Here's the whole card. This is the build-around card, because that's what we're doing. All right. So how bad is this deck?
Of course we got 4 copies.
Yeah. It's a bad card. Of course we have 4 copies of it. I'm confused. There we go. That's proper.
Gruul Smash.
Gruul Smash.
Heart.
It's a Heart XD. All right, so let's see. Looks like we have way too many expensive cards, which is what's going to happen when you start by putting in things like this and this and this. So we're cutting this because we actually don't go wide. This is fine as a 2 of because we're planning on just cycling it. Voracious Hydra is a removal spell. We can get rid of the Trample Search. Yeah, it gets huge late game. It's a removal spell, or you play it on 4. It has 3 counters. It doubles up to 6, and you feel good because you're green and you get to do that. We're running multiple copies of Yadu just so we can cycle into them and eventually just start putting them into play for free. We already went over this. lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than... What? Creatures have toughness equal to their power? That's insane. I didn't even read the card. I just saw 5 mana 7. I just saw 5 mana creature with vigilance. That's insane. It's Godzilla. Okay, this guy's a good 4-drop. So what's this thing do? Oh, I thought this was something else. I'm not running it. This card's good. This card is great. If we're spending wild cards on this deck, this is what I'm building first. We're building 4 of these. This card's one of the best Gruul cards right now in Standard.
Yeah, you can play in the red-green aggro deck too. So
it's just good. It's just a good red-green card. It's one of the best red-green cards they've printed recently. Because it's either a 3 mana 3/3 Trampler of Haste that has hexproof, or it's a 3 mana 3/4 with Trample and hexproof. We're keeping these in. Poet Collector is good. Let's see. Yeah, we'll need to add in some 2 and 3 drops. This card's fantastic. We'll grab a Bone Crusher Giant as well. Not feeling Skewer, but I do want Light Up the Stage. Where I'm trying to find this Light Up the Stage. There it is. We're gonna throw in 3 of those. So let's grab some 2 drops. Let's look at the green cards, because green cards are gonna be the ones that are gonna help us on the board the most. Let's see. Incubation Druid's gonna be great here. Grab some Paradise Druids, be able to properly ramp. We got some more slots. We're running these Harpooners in because we have creatures, and this is removal for flyers. And we don't really have much of reach. Now it's just a 3/2 bodies, excellent. You just tempo this guy out onto your opponent's a little scared because it kills their 2-drop or their 3-drop. Heck, you can even swing up into a 4-drop. We don't need Plummet because we have Harpooner. Also, there's a reach, and that's the whole point of it being added the first time. This card's kind of fun. I'm not running it, but... Alright, what else do we got? We're looking for 2 and 3 drops. Dry just lets us get a little bit more ahead. Hydra's Growth over here is a fun card, but we need more early game. Alright, what are we at for early game? We're at 27 creatures. That's good. We have 14 2 and 3 drops. I think I'd still want some more cards. I'm a little annoyed that Lightning Strike is no longer in Standard. That was my favorite cards that I have in Standard. It's just such a powerful card. But yeah, it looks like we don't have too much more to add in. Actually, let's see what we have for Hydras. Not actually much in the way of things that become good with Voracious Hydra, so we're not going to worry about that one. We already added the mana dorks we have, which is Incubation Druid and Paradise Druid. The rest of the dorks, we don't have Gilly Gooses, and we don't really have much else that's going to be good for for Hydras, yeah. So at this point, I kind of just want to slot in some more things that help us win us the board. I think I'm going to have to go with, it's either Jaya's Greeting or Lava Coil. I think I'm going to go with Lava Coil over Jaya's Greeting. I like the fact that it's instant speed. I love that it's 3 damage, but I can't point it at my opponent's face. The whole thing I want in Lightning Strike is that I can point it at my opponent's face and make the life total go to 0. We can't do that. So we're not going to run it. This one also can't be pointed at my opponent's face, but it gets rid of something, and it gets rid of it cleanly. It is 2 mana, get rid of something. It's basically just 2 mana, exile a creature. Granted, it doesn't actually exile the creature. It has to kill it first, then it needs to die, then if it dies, yada yada yada. But yeah, we have a pile of cards here. How many lands does it say? 2. This is 24 lands. Gross. What's my split at, anyways? So you want something more green. Go on the 22. Actually, my top end's what? My curve is actually closer to here, but I have a lot of 5 and 6s that I need to hit. So, you know, we'll just go down by 1 land and add 1 card in. Yep, I got 4. I got, yeah, 3 Paradise Druid, 1 Incubation Druid. That's all we really have for playable. Actually, let's see. This is not the one that we can cast. What's Gut do? Now we need things like removal. Not adding a 1 of shock. That'd be funny though. Only hits a white or blue creature, so it's not good for the main board. Or Planeswalker. It just kills the fairy outright. Forbidden Friendship. This card is unfortunate. This card has implications. We're going to go over, just grab a green card. Oh, you know what this deck needs? Torbrain. That's what it really needs. Oh, actually, let's go back to the red-green section. There should be... I don't think I actually grabbed any of the red-green cards after we switched to... yeah, we have Rhythm Labs when we need that in. So we're going to cut some more cards. Because Rhythm is really good. Boom. There's 2 Rhythms there. That's going to be fantastic. And I believe there's a red-green punch. Yeah, Domri's Ambush. So this isn't a fight. It's a punch effect, which is almost just better. So we're going to cut a similar effect for this bad boy. Yeah. They have a similar effect. Domri's Ambush that does the same thing. So collision. So, where is it? Where is the card I just cut? Here it is. So Thrash does the same thing, where it does damage equal to its power to a creature or a planeswalker, and Domri's Ambush puts a counter, then does the exact same thing. This is a sorcerer as opposed to an instant. It doesn't have the modular effect of being able to make a 4/4 instead. But I'd much rather just have Domri's Ambush. This card's fantastic. Gallo would be kind of interesting. We don't have Satyrs to make this good, but this card just kind of, it's a fantastic 2-drop. So let's be more proactive instead of reactive. Let's just throw them in. Reduces the curve. Let's just get away with running that 23. All right, this is 17, 21, 22, 23. We got 23 lands. Does that sound right? Yeah, yeah. All right, we're just Grill Smash with a lowercase m. And we're just gonna see what happens when we play this deck. And we're just gonna do it in regular. We're not gonna take this into ranked yet. I'm not gonna tank our rank. I'm not that. I'm a little more generous. I'm cautious. I think about the greater things. I think about the account. All right. Ooh, this hand's actually Nutter Butters. Snapkeep. Pelt Collector into Paradise Druid. I can also light up stage. Then we got this bad boy for later. Keeping it. Oh, my opponent has a companion card. Show me your mech. Oh, it's this thing. It's this gross thing. I drew a second one of these. That's fine. They're not legendary. Boom. Pelt Collector. Oh, they hit me with that hello. Gonna hit him with that hello back. I'm respectful. Ooh, they're playing their own Paradise Druid. Drew land. Thank goodness. Now we can actually do things. So the question is, actually, so Nah, we're not. I don't.
He's going to want to do this as soon as possible. I don't think he's going to block. If he does, good. Because
Yeah. You know what? I care about killing my opponent.
I don't think he's going to block. If he does, then, like, do whatever.
Yeah. We killed this 2-drop before 1-drop. We're going to look at it that way. How's it going, Battle Angel? Hey, had another one. That's fine. We're drawing lands. We're casting spells. I'm doing it. I'm going to combat.
I think he's thinking about attacking.
Hey, all right. Now we get the light up the stage and Paradise Druid. Watch this be double land, and it's going to feel bad, but we're going to do it anyways. Boom, told you double land. Now we don't have to do. Now we don't have to worry about these lands. Even better. Attack me. Do it, coward. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next turn he'll be able to cast his companion, and then he'll go, and then he'll wombo combo. Yeah, Guild Mage. This is Dirtle card number 1,000. Not the tap land. 1, 2, 3. Actually, ooh, I get that attack trigger off this, which is kind of funny. Yeah, but he gets the free block. I don't like the free block. So we're going here. And we're playing this. You know, it's a 5-mana 6/6 with trample. Like that's all I really need. It's just 5-mana 6/6. It's statted above the curve, incredibly so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, cast. Oh, that's the one. He just has just one in the deck, and you get to put a creature card with an even cost from either graveyard. Oh, you got another one. Cool. So one of them needs to go away. Yep. It's whenever it enters the battlefield, do the thing. Oh, there's a Dream Trawler. Okie dokie. This game is probably over. You know, cutting that Cruel Harpooner was a mistake, because Cruel Harpooner would enter and destroy that Dream Trawler. Dang. Dizzity, dizzity, dang. He'll definitely block here and here. If he doesn't block, I get a guy. Ugh, I don't like this. This is a very bad spot to be in. I'll throw it out there, see if he trades. Yep. There's the trade. Oh! Oh, that's actually just bad for us, because next turn, he casts the one from his companion slot. It enters. He gets to bring that one back, or anything else that he wants. Yeah. We are... They are online. We are dead in the water at this point. Ah, yes, Thassa. With all of the devotion, because this thing has all of the devotion. This thing grants devotion. This thing has devotion. And it's time to hit the concede button. Yep. They are going to try and dirtle and stall out the game as much as possible, as long as they can, and then attempt to just, once they get the 6 mana, end the game. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense, and that is why we died. Ideal opening in as 3 or 4 lands. I kept 2. I was fine. My opponent just had better things going on, but oh well. Let's see. How's the Facebook chat going? Let's see. 2 lands, creatures, spells, easy. Let's just run the wrong page. Okay. Boom. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. That's fine. This is fine. Oh, this is okay. This isn't as scary as it could have been. Yeah, we'll play the hexproof one. Yep, it's mono red. They're doing mono red things. They can definitely still have a spell, so blocking here will get us blown out. So we're just taking the damage. We're just eating it for now. We get this coming in next turn, which has a butt, so we can block a little bit better against some of these guys. It definitely has a Infuriate or Shock or something in hand. Oh, we can only cast green spells. No, it taps for anything. That's not Incubation Druid. We're good. We definitely need to cast this homeboy here. And we're gonna we're just gonna pass after that. Not hitting a land is scary, but now we have 3 mana. We'll be able to start hopefully casting good spells. Occlusion Colossus might be a cut from the deck, the more I look at it. Doesn't need me to be on board. Yep, ding me for a bunch. So we get blown up by Infuriate here. Infuriate is like the perfect answer for him. Yep. 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 We knew he had it. Oh, we're just dead. Cool. Yep, Embercleave. Coolest new card. It's that fun card. Alright, we need to... Collision Colossus needs to not be in the deck. Army's Ambush is good, though. Oh, hey. Your turn, choose a counter at random that this card has. And that is not flying, hexproof, or something. Put a +1 counter on that kind. Of that kind. What? Beginning your turn, choose a kind of counter at random that Crystalline Giant doesn't have on it among flying. Ah, I see. So, every turn, it gets a new type of upgrade from one of the ones it didn't have previously. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. How neat is that? You just mutate this thing until it becomes big and scary. So we're cutting. So we cut the. Yeah, we cut the Collision Colossus, but I want to add more creatures in just so I can have more play to the board. So yeah, we are going to run in the. Where'd they go? Oh, they're already in the deck still. Okay, so it means something else then. I don't want to run these mana dorks so they don't draw cards. Ram through target creature, deals damage equal to its power to a thing, and then if that creature has trample, punch the owner instead. I'm about it. Might have too many fight effects, but we're gonna let that be. We're gonna let ourselves be bad and run too many fight effects, and then hopefully just have everything we need every game. Plus, where's my Mighty Bushrog? The mighty Bushrogs. Double Mountain. Taking that mulligan. 4 lands. Some stuff. We'll keep it. Ship back the mountain. Oh no, I started. Oh, Guildgate. All right. Non-zero chance, like not even running Refuge, just running the Guildgate. Oh yes, we drew it. Actually, just unstoppable. Can't be beat. 1, 2, 3. Play land is 4, so we can go Rhythm into Bullrog next turn. Yeah. Yeah. They've got it. Boom. Rhythm. This bad boy's got. This bad boy has right, so now he has a +1/+1 counter. 1 mana 2/2 with trample. That's insane. That's crazy. So the hope is my opponent attacks and leaves their defenses down so I can get in with this next turn. Oh, I can get this haste with rhythm. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, go ahead. This doesn't have vigilance, does it? No, it does not. Yeah, no block. You got it. Get your singular counter. Ooh, we drew another one. It's all coming together. This bad boy has haste. All right. Ooh, I get a 6/6 and a 2/2. Oh no, we just get collectively 1 8/8. Whenever one or more creatures. Gotcha. I probably should read the card, but oh boy. Do we now have, we have an 8/8. We have an 8/8 token. Christian, this is why we built this deck. This is why we built this deck. This is why we built this deck. You were like, oh, red-green trample doesn't seem that good. It's not going to be that good. This card's not a good build around. I'm like, you're right. You're right. The deck is bad, but we have an 8/8. Hey, man, just because 3. Yeah, no, they're stuck on 2 with a useless druid. Oh, they're shocking themselves for that temple guard. Yeah, you're right. I'm not winning because I made the right play. I'm winning because my opponent drew poorly. But that's an out in Magic. Oh, he has the 2 different arts for Johnny's Pride Mate. This one just looks. This one just looks. I don't like this. Do not like the art on this card. This card, fantastic. This card, concerning. No. Oh man, he got rid of. Oh no, he conclaved my big scary guy. I can just cast this outright, can't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, it's just no. I can't cast it outright. It's just I can cycle it. No, we're gonna play the big boy again, and we'll give it haste again. I have an 8/8 still of haste. Okay, they conceded. I would too. I would concede at that point. Boom. Boom. Let's play some games. Christian, I'm gonna make you lose to this deck a lot. I'm gonna build this deck, and I'm gonna make you lose to this deck. And you're gonna be like, why am I losing to this deck? Because it's finely tuned. It's a precision.
Yeah, all you need is Embercleave.
Oh, Embercleave gives trample, doesn't it?
You go swing with team, they go block, you go make my A.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, we got 4 lands and things we can. Oh, we cycle this on 2. We can cycle this later. Yeah, we're actually. You know what? We're just gonna keep this. We're just gonna keep this. We got a tap land of 1. We got a solid 1-drop. I think this is doable. I think this is actually doable, depending on what my opponent's playing, and depending on how good their opening hand is, and depending on what I draw. There's a lot of ifs here, but sometimes we get there. Yeah, cycle for 1 in a red. So turn 2, we get to do cool stuff. Ah, they're playing a good deck because that's a Knight of the Ebon Legion. Well, we're gonna undo their turn 1, their first attack at least. Their 2nd through 5th attacks are going to be gross. Whenever creature enters battlefield, gain a life. Oh yeah, Aristocrat cards are sweet. Okay, we drew a land. That's not necessarily what we needed, but whatever. We just cycle this now. I'm not gonna bluff like we got something. Trigger, that's the first one. Well, we got the 5-drop for in 2 turns. I guess we have a 3-drop, and hopefully we draw something else. Did not draw any of our early game. That's fine. It's fine. We're gonna hope our opponent doesn't have space for removal and just bomb train them for the rest of the game and hope that's enough. And they're gonna have removal, and our bomb train won't be big enough because our opponent is already getting bigger than we could ever be. That's fine. Look at this. They only have like.
If they didn't have that, the entire game, they'd be fine.
They only have, what, like 10 damage on board? We're fine. It's fine. They only have like 10 damage on board. All right? 10 damage. That's 10 damage, right? That's basically it's 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's basically just 10 damage on board. They have half our life total on board. It's fine. It's fine. Watch, they're gonna be scared, blow, over commit, over respond to the Rhythm of the Wild. Next turn we're gonna draw a 4-drop. We're not though. Yep. 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 Okay, this doesn't have anything for me to blow up with that. We're gonna play it. Give it a counter. Cool. I was worried. It felt like I couldn't cycle at instant speed for a moment. I can just block. Yeah, I think we just take the block here. Take the block here, force him to spend the mana. Because we can't afford to. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Cycle. Ooh. All right. The bomb train is here. You're gonna give me a 4-4 or a 6-6 to block with? He giving me a 6-6 to block with. Okay, we're probably dead because he has removal.
Yeah, he's 7.
Who's block?
I mean, yeah, he's 5. It can bump for 7 after he calls.
Oh, that's what you mean. He has enough mana to kill and pump. Gotcha. Yeah. He needs removal. He's thinking too long. Maybe he doesn't have the removal. Boy, howdy do I love it. Oh my gosh, that's not a removal spell. I mean, it enters as a 3-3. That's almost really good. Yep, I'll block. Don't think I won't. I will block. All day, every day. Like, your guy will live, but I will block. Your guy doesn't have trample, so I do not care. Boom, done, easy, block. Yep. That token was free.
Huh.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Can you read? Can I?
That has trample.
Just trample damage, combat damage.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if that triggers.
Oh no, that would
be sick.
That would be broken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're not going to quite do the thing.
We should do it now before you.
Oh, I'm 3 steps ahead of you, but I play red green. I know what I'm doing here. We're giving this a counter. Doesn't get this one this turn. We are attacking this turn. The thinking was to have enough mana to do a landing here, but
I will
cool.
think about it. Red green is good when your opponent has no removal.
Yeah. Red green's fantastic if you're not playing against control. Red green is a highly interactive, fun thing that lets you to play for the board constantly and struggle back and forth. Unless your opponent runs board wipes or single target removal, in which case you're just SOL. But the second you get on the board and are able to develop things, your opponent can't beat you, ever. Because you just have bigger things always. And if you have the ability to make your things fight for the board with fight effects or punch effects, people can't beat you. They have to go bigger, and you're red-green. You're the biggest, baddest creatures there are. Oh, no, we're just dead now. This card's disgusting. Oh, we're not dead. He didn't kill me. Sweet. Yeah, he's just dead on board. He has 1 mana. I fear nothing. Oh, it's a land. That's unfortunate. Well, let's give it... Oh, it's Jeff. Oh, look at this boy trample. And we're going to...
Ikoria
Bop, bop, bop. Give me a 12-12. Awesome. Excellent. All right, folks, just a moment.
Okay, it's my turn to build a deck. Yeah, I did. Okay, I don't know where to start though. Kevin had an idea. He knew what he wanted to do. Me, I won't play control, but we obviously don't have enough stuff for that. So I wonder. We can see if we can build aristocrats here. See, cat. Not collected. Okay. So let's play. Set as companion. Not yet. We'll see. We'll see what we're working with here. So we got 2 Lyris or 3 Lyris. Let's see. There we go. Cauldron Familiar. How many? 38. Oh, we have a bunch of uncommons. Let's do 4 of those. Let's do which is fine. Right. 4 ovens. Scorpion. That's not how you spell scorpion. Or no, it's types of the scorpion. What is that card called? Well, let's just right here. Ikoria, go to OK. Serrated scorpion, that's what it is. Ooh, yeah, we can play Mothra. Or what, the Luminous Blood Moth. Like we were talking about earlier. See what else we got we can play. Let's play 4 Heartless Act. Oh, not what I meant to do. There we go. Play 4 Bastions. Let's see, what other tools does this deck get? Keegan. Yeah, Gyruda. What a card. Oh, and then here's General Kudro, Dranith. If we're going humans, we can. I don't think we're going to go the human route just yet. I want to play the blue or the blue-black aristocrats style deck. Let's see. Already got that. Got that. I think we have everything from Ikoria that we want for this deck in here right now. I think. Okay, yep, I think that's it. So now I have to remember all the other Orzhov cards as a con. Oh, duh, it's not in that. It's an uncommon, I think. Yeah, well, let's kind of scroll through here and see if I can find any of the pieces. I can't remember the deck off the top of my head, and I can go net deck real quick, but I think for now I'm just gonna look over it to see what I got. I'm just looking for anything that has anything to do with sacking. What else? What else? Oh, yeah, we need Priest. We need Arya. No, Darn, I don't want to use rares. Shoot. Okay. I think we actually might be playing this guy as our companion. Oh no, we can't. Okay. Never mind. I lied. Dang. Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't want to use 8 rare cards. It's not what I want to do here. That's unfortunate, because, yeah, the deck really needs those cards. I guess I can't build, aristocrats. I could probably still build humans. So, actually, let's make humans, so why not? Can you do subtypes? You cannot. Okay. Well, I mean, shoot. Let's look up a list and see if those are the only rares in the deck. I actually will just make the deck, just so we have another playable standard deck in the format that we can grind with. I don't want to dump 7 wild cards. Please load. Please. There we go. No, this is standard from years ago. Okay. Not give me anything. Sorry, I don't mean to be so boring. I'm just trying to figure out what I want for this this list. It's cruel celebrant. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Cruel. Sweet. Only have to use 1 uncommon wild card. Ooh, so we could play Teysa if we really wanted to. Oh, we need Midnight Reavers. Dang it. Okay, this list plays Whisper Spot, plays Dread Horror. Okay, this is playing black. No, I just want... Oh, Call to Death Dweller. There we go. That's right, Call. Can't remember what most of these cards are. Read Twitch chat. feel like the humans deck with Kudro wants to be Mardu. Yeah, it definitely wants to be Mardu. Yeah, sorry, I did not mouse over to the Twitch stream. So, yeah, hello. Welcome. Yeah, I got a screen for chat, but like, I have to go in between Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, so sometimes I miss it. So let's see. Okay, we got that going. Let's go up, but we got the serrated scorpion. Let's see. Got a few cards left. Let's see. What else do we? What else do we got? That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's see. What other ideas can we get here? So I'm just trying to think of a good list that doesn't make us use a bunch of rare wild cards, because I kind of want to save those. There's a Kai. Oh yeah, Kaya's something. It's also a decent filler card. Yeah, Kaya's ghost form. Okay, we're gonna play this very very budget aristocrats deck with our one luminous bloodmoth. Actually, in fact, I think we have a Tesa. We can probably throw it in. Yeah, we do have a Tesa. Okay, Heartless Act, yeah. Alright, let's play with this janky variant. Oh, and our quest today is cast 40 creature spells. Okay, now I gotta switch back to Twitch. Alright, well, let's play a... Nope, not draft. Not draft. We're just be playing a deck with our suboptimal aristocrats list. So let's go into it. This is a very slow hand, but I kind of want to keep. I think I'm going to. It'll be risky. And we're going second, so we can draw into what we need. Well, we don't have evidence, so maybe we should mulligan. We don't have anything, but you know, I'm gonna keep it. Just kind of show you what to keep, what not to keep. I think he's probably just playing mono white cycle, making this guy big. Turn 1 Flourish Fox. Oh, he's playing the red white variant. It's probably just gonna cycle Yadaro, so he can get a +1/+1. And we're gonna play True Celebrant. Celebratant. Celebrant. Oh. Oh, Reptilian Reflection? That's sick. Okay. I'm a huge fan of this card. So I think we're going to play a Bastion, and then we'll play a Bastion, and then, oh, get this. We'll play a Bastion. We'll swing in with the Celebratant, because he can't cycle now, so we're actually free to swing. Because if we buck here, he loses 2, we gain 2. So we'll at least have enough to mitigate this effect. Or what we could do is play Oven on our turn and then keep with the Heartless Act. But if we draw a land, I kind of want to go Bastion and a Witch's Oven. Once we get the Witch's Oven, we can actually start trying to gain more life too. It looks like, yeah, he's just gonna cycle that. And does this allow him to... Okay, first strike, got it. And that has trample, so we're just gonna block here. And triggers. So go up to 21, and then we'll take 5, going down to 16. And, oh, perfect. Bastion. Into Oven. And we'll swing in with the Celebraton. Just to keep the damage up. Because even if he does cycle for 1, this is tapped. It doesn't untap. So we're fine. But yeah, I'm liking for what he's going for. I just love Retooling Reflection. It's hilarious. It's just a little too slow sometimes. But like getting multiple of these out in the field and you go cycle and you have several 5/4s ready to just go ham, it is hilarious. Snare Tactician, when you cycle a card, tap target create. Oh. So yeah, that'd be sick. If he cycles right now to activate the reflection. We're still gonna Witch's Oven. Because that's we gain 3, they lose 3, and we get a food token. And I'm actually just gonna play another Bastion. And we have the Scorpion! We have the Scorpion! Pretty good. I'm not complaining. I'm having the time of my life, and they conceded. Sounds about right. So, I kept triple Bastion and it worked. It worked. So, let's go again. And then here in a bit, we're going to be transitioning over to Final Fantasy for the night. But yeah, let's jam with Budget Aristocrats. Because, like, I'm not for certain we're going to be playing this deck for most of the format, so I don't want to use 7+ wild cards and rares to flesh that out. I'd rather use that for Shocklands and stuff like that. So we're going to keep this. This hand is looking mighty fine, because we can go turn 1, play Serrated Scorpion, and turn 2, Ghost Form Witch's Oven. Or just double Serrated Scorpion. But he is playing red, so. Let's see, do we block? Because I could play, yeah, well. No blocks. We'll take 2 points. Because now we can go Scorpion, Kaya's Ghost Form on a Scorpion. So when we double block, he's going to get rid of this one. They'll take 2, and then we still have a Serrated Scorpion, and his Robber the Rich is gone. No attacks. We're going to see the keep up. Because what we could do next turn is also just play Call of Death Dweller. Oh. Return up to 2 to the battle. Whoa, Call of Death Dweller is sweet. Because if he gets rid of both the... that's fine. So you'll take 2. We'll gain 2. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, block the Scorpion. It's going to come back. So now we can do this, play the Witch's Oven. And we're just going to pass here. We don't need to use the Heartless Act just yet. We're going to save it. Because what we want to do is block, activate Witch's Oven. And then we can also gain 3 life in that same turn. So if we just stay ahead of the mono red, the amount of damage they can do, we're going to be just fine. Yep, so we're moving to blockers. We'll block here. Block to damage. We'll activate Witch's Oven. Scorpion Trigger, he'll take 2. We'll gain 2. We'll get enough. We'll get some food. He'll pass. We have open mana. We're just going to crack this. If we can get to a high enough life total, red can't do anything against it. Resolves. Go ahead and kill it now just so it only gets we don't need to pop the I'd rather him have 1/1s and him not get 2 tokens off of this and get a lot of value. I'd rather just get rid of it now. And we turn into another Heartless Act anyway. So let's just slap 2 more said Scorpions down onto the board. And Death Touch counter on either of them. That card is so good. Oh. Yeah, so we can block here, get rid of that, and we're at 24 against mono red on turn 3. Yeah, we're fine. Resolves. But we do need to get more of our engine. Actually, what am I doing? Right here. We can take the 2. We want to make smart trades here. And then if he tries to shock the Scorpion, we can just wish it up in response. +4? Sure, dude. You got it. Yep, resolving a lie up the stage. We're still at 22, so we're in a good position. But like I said, we need to start drawing some stuff. I think for now we can actually just start swinging in. And then we can kill the Robber Witch with the Heartless Act. I think I just don't want a card advantage. So I'm just gonna kill this Robber Witch too. Why not? And then he'll just resolve a Bone Crusher Giant. Why did I let that result? That's fine. Whoopsie. I meant to sack it. I wasn't paying attention, but this is a good top deck. Just, yeah. Yeah, I let it resolve. I didn't know that was, yeah, I thought it was just playing as a creature. I didn't notice it was dealing 2, so. Pass the blockers. We'll block here. Block the damage. We'll activate Witch's Oven. Actually, no, we won't. We want that. We want to trade with that. Yeah, We're at 26, but we need to draw something. Past the blockers. We're also not going to sack this one because it's Death Touch, so we want this to die. Yep, we'll take the 4. We'll gain 2. And he'll let the stage resolves. Rimrock Knight resolves. Might as well have mana. Oh, I can't get enough of this card. Oh, whoopsie. Well, that's not what I meant to do, but we good. That's too funny. So the pre-orders are just for Ikoria right now, not the commander decks. Correct. I think we still have. I think we do have pre-orders for commander as well. I'll have to double check after stream, and I'll get back to you. But easy to slap down is that 10 Street Dodger, probably making it unblockable and swinging in for 1. I think the only way he wins this is if I just don't draw anything for the next few turns. So we're just gonna go. Yep, resolves. Move to blocks. We'll go here. And we'll go here. We're not gonna activate Witch's Oven. We don't need to because we want to kill both of those things. Yep, and then he takes 4. And we drew a land. But we're at 30. So, like, we can draw lands for a few turns. Good game! Good game! This deck's hilarious. I think it could be a lot better, obviously, but this is still funny. So, well, I still got some time. Other coworkers on break, so we'll just fire off some more of these games until we're ready to transition over to Final Fantasy. But yeah, opened a pack of Slayers today for Yu-Gi-Oh! Just one. I was feeling itchy. I pulled an Eldritch. And for those of you who don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Eldritch is like a $100 card right now. So I was like, oh. Okay. I totally forgot this was in the set. I was buying it off a whim. Because I'm like, I'm bored. I'm going to buy a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack, get a collection going. And yeah, I pulled the Eldritch. I was like, huh. $4 turned into $100. Nice. That's what we call value. Pretty static, not gonna lie. Looks like this guy's playing red-green aggro. Didn't see the goblin thing, so that's good for us. He can pump, so we're just gonna let this go through. We don't want to lose our celebrant. Yep, resolves. Because now we can go play the Bastion. I was gonna say play celebrant, but we got Bastion. Now this we don't mind losing. I won't end the turn. So now, anytime we block, or anytime we lose one of our guys, he's going to take 2. And we're going to gain 2. Yeah, but I'm really digging the music on Arena. I don't know. I couldn't figure out how to get the sound back, but when I was playing the other day, it was, yeah, not doing it for me. So if he swings all out, he's just swinging the 3. Does this thing have trample? It does have trample. So we'll take... Yeah, no, we can actually block here, because what's going to happen is we'll take 2, but we'll gain 2. Or I guess we should have just kept it for the Celebrant. Yeah, and then we could... Yeah, that would have been better. Oh well. Should I Kaya's Ghost Form on one of them? Now I'm going to. Next. No attacks. Entered. Annex, yeah, oof, that resolves. Okay, so I guess, well, I will definitely take a look after stream and see if I can find any information out. I'll try to remember to send you a thingy. Alright, just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Swing in. Okay, let's see. If we block, I might as well. No, let's see our blocking and get this. So I don't think we need to activate the. Well, let's see, because we'll gain. Yeah, might as well. We're gonna gain a bunch of life and get a food token, and then we'll still take 3. Oh, that's not what we want. Well, I guess now in this case we could go. Yeah, and then we bring them back. Yeah, we can lose these guys this turn. Because then we can just bring them back with Call the Death Dweller. No attacks, and we'll just pass. We really need to start seeing like a Sedge Scorpion or something. Oh, Great Hinge. Yep. It's going to start turning into his favor. Swing for 3, swing for 4. I think we are just going to block. Because we can actually get this back and give one of them Death Touch. Block to damage. And then we'll sack this one. Because this guy doesn't have trample. And then trigger. The only downside to doing that is that we don't get 2 triggers, so they take 1 less damage. I would draw another land, but that's fine. We did that for a reason, so we're gonna get back our 2 Cruel Salt. Oh, I can only get 1. Okay, I now understand this card. Got it. Okay. Well, then that was a misplay. Got it. Total converted mana cost. That makes more sense. Resolves. Yeah, I think we're just gonna take it because we have to try to get. We need to keep these 2 things up. As soon as we get a cat, we'll be in. Because we have a decent amount of life, so we can start like top decking the answers we need. Cover the banneret? Shoot. Well, now I kind of want to trade. Because I don't want him to continue doing that the entire time. Oh, right. That's fine. I still get to kill it. And that's what I care about. Hopefully he gets 2 of these things. Was it 4? Yeah, because he gets 2 because of the trigger. Yeah, that was my bad. Oh well. And now I draw the ghost for it. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Another point of damage. It's 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So he needs to put 2 more devotion out or have a shock. Does he have the shock? Oh, he's playing another annex, sacking the annex, getting 2 triggers, getting to draw a couple cards, and getting a bunch of dudes. That way, we're definitely dead next turn. But, you know, hopefully we could draw something just to kind of do something and then pass. Celebratant. So, let's go, Celebratant. Kai's Ghost Form on the Celebratant. Because even if we block and then activate the Witch's Oven, that's still 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points of damage. So we're just going to activate it now because we are just going to concede. That is going to be game for our opponent. Or game for us. Our opponent won. Which is fine. That happens. And then we will concede. Good game. Concede. So yeah, we really needed to see some of our other effects, kind of like the Scorpion. We didn't see Scorpion, and we haven't seen Cat the last 2 games. Ah, here we go. Oh, of course. So, we have the engine, all the cards we want in our opening hand. We can only play one of those cards because we also open a bunch of blinds. So, let's mulligan. Hey, it's practically the same hand, but we can play it. Nice! I like that. I like that a lot. And even if we would have found the 3rd land, it's fine because we also have Priest. And then hopefully by then we get the 3rd land, we can play the Bastion and start going off from there. So, actually we don't need the Priest. I don't want the Priest here. Boom. Play the Cat. We'll play Celebratant. I wonder what our opponent, James Flux, is playing. Oh, it makes sense. It's so cute. But yeah, I'm thinking, I mean, maybe we do want to play the Witch's Oven right after this. So if he plays a dude, I think we play the Oven. Oh, he must have opened a really bad hand. So let's just throw down the Celebratant, move to combat, attack at the familiar. He didn't drop anything, so we're doing good. Ooh, Donna Hope. This will be sweet. So yeah, let's just swing in with the team. He's playing mono white, so we don't need to keep Oven open, so we can actually just play the Bastion Remembrance because we can slap down these 2 next turn. Yep, we're just gonna Heartless Act right now. Move into combat, swing at these guys. We still don't need to play the Oven. We'll just play the Sedge Scorpion, and we'll pass. Yep. Player Johnny, probably neg, get a 2-2.
Everything will be fine if we Your soul can inspire others.
Huh. Okay, I think I like this. Play the Bastion. Next turn, we'll play the Oven. We'll actually swing in with the Serrated Scorpion this turn. Because if he decides to... we'll keep this to Johnny down anyway. Yeah, we'll swing here. Because if he decides to block, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 points of damage our opponent takes. If he decides to block. And then we gain that much. Yep, he's gonna take it. We're gonna just keep this at bay.
Talking instead.
So it's probably in the plus. Make this big. We're not worried about attacking now anymore. We're just gonna play the Witch's Oven and then just keep sacking Familiar over and over and over again. He will be losing 4 points of damage every time we do it. Oh, it'll be really neat if we draw a second Oven. But if he gains more life, then what we do, this actually might be a problem. Yeah, because now he's almost about the same amount of life we're at. So let's play the Oven and let's pass, because now we can just... Well, I guess I could have swung at the... That's fine. We'll be fine. Oh. Yeah, we got the engine going. Yep.
My pride rose stronger.
And then these things are just gonna get huge. Yep, and you just start paying life. And you pay 2, draw a card. He's probably doing that. He has the mana for it. So if he swings in, we can block here, even block here if we want. If you sweep, we top like a Tesa. We have 4. And then we have double Death Triggers. So we can have, Aww. It's probably hitting my Oven. Just in case. We're gonna do the thing. Just in case he gets rid of this too, we'll still bring out a cat in response. Or is he just hitting the cat? Oh. Interesting. I guess it makes more sense of taking these. I figured he'd take the Oven though. I think he's gonna be able to out Pizza the Hut here. At least he'll take some damages. I think, yeah, he did that because he was swinging in and he didn't want to take so much damage.
ship feeds the soul.
Yep, doing the thing. I don't think this is going to be our game, and this is going to be the last game of this session before we move on to Final Fantasy here in just a second. But I mean, we're not dead, but he can just keep giving all of his guys lifelink and swinging in, and it's just going to out-mitigate the 3 damage we're doing every turn. Because, like, sure, we're not going to die soon. Well, we will. These guys are huge, but like we have a good life total. But he's gonna just gain more life than. You know what? This is gonna take too long. I'm just gonna see. Okay, well, that was it for Arena today. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Cygnus, I will go check pre-orders right now, and I'll send you a message on Discord. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and joining us today in our pack opening and playing some games and new decks we have. We stream Arena almost every day. We do Final Fantasy on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So today, we'll be doing that here in about 6 minutes, getting that ready. And net play for Melee on Sunday. So thank you guys again. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.